Hello from White Sands National Park. We are exploring New Mexico for the next few days, and so that's what this whole video is going to be about, is us in New Mexico. We woke up bright and early this morning and are currently in White Sands National Park. As you can see, it kind of looks like it's snow, but I can assure you that it is not. We're right by some dunes. I've been working for the last couple hours. Nick just took a lesson from a really cool trumpet dude. I'm gonna go explore a little bit. Obviously it's just a whole bunch of dunes, so we're gonna kind of hang out here. Probably not super long. It's supposed to get really windy in the next 2 hours or so, and so we're just gonna try and look at the sand before it starts blowing in our faces. It almost looks like snow. Just left the van. It feels like we've been hiking forever. I got stuck.
So we're here. Hopefully you can hear us at White Sands National Park. It's beautiful. And there's also tons of people.
But they all look like it's snowing.
They look like they're hiking in the snow. And it looks like snow, but it's not. It's sand.
Nick ditched me. He said he was gonna go get the tripod. So I am alone.
It's really white and it's super glowy.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool.
Today may not have been the best day to ever come here, but that's
We're
okay.
here. How was that?
I think I rolled out my leg.
Oh, good. That's beautiful.
Let's see it. As you can see, my sand angel is perfect. Now we're gonna see how Nick's compares. Subpar. First of all, you're not even doing your feet.
Wow, mine looks so much better than yours.
Obviously, mine looks better.
Comment down below who you think is better.
This one's Nick's. This one's mine. Nope, that was bad.
Do it again.
That was better.
Turn around and go that way.
No, it's slanted.
Just try it. That was perfect.
It was more like a cartwheel. I'm amazing.
Oh, so scary. Oh, I can do better than that. Dang it. Okay, wait, one more. I'll get that in a minute.
That was way better than mine.
That was so much.
There's kind of a heart. Why didn't you just do it like that to begin with?
It was supposed to be cute because it's going to be our hands. That looks good.
It's the best heart I've ever seen.
I know. love.
What is that middle thing?
It's an arrow.
It doesn't look like an arrow. Bad news, everybody. Nick has died. This is kind of a weird national park. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Huh?
I don't know if I would come back here voluntarily. Let's talk about our time here, Nick.
Yeah, let's discuss.
Alright, so we've been to a few national parks now. I've been to all 5 in Utah, which are pretty stunning and kind of amazing.
And I have been to all 5 in the U.S. And they're
What?
pretty stunning. Pretty good.
Anyways, so coming to this one, what are your thoughts, Nick? If you had to compare, let's say, this one to Zion.
I think it's a little bit tricky. Zion's really, really cool. And this one's really cool, but Zion is like cool for like a lot of reasons. This one's just kind of,
It's just some dunes.
it's just some dunes. And they're like white dunes. So we went to Yuma before this. St. George has some dunes. St. Anthony in Idaho has dunes. So
We just went to the dunes in Death Valley, which, if you've been
Valley is-
watching, you saw that we went to the dunes in Death Valley.
So these are cool, but it definitely is.
And the sand is really pretty. Like, this is the type of sand that I want at, like, the beach. But this one, there's not a lot to do. So, like, Zion, you have the main park, and there's tons of hikes to do. If you just drive through it, it's, like, one of the most majestic experiences of your life.
It's really majestic just to drive through. This one's really cool to drive through as well, but it's not very.
It's definitely not as big.
They're just not as much to look at. You
Or
know,
to
you
do.
see one white sand dune, you've seen them all, pretty much.
So it's, like, been fun, because we've, like, made sand angels, rolled down the hills.
I did a cool handstand.
Nick did a really cool handstand, and I tried, but I failed miserably. Yeah, I like the sand itself. Pretty.
So yeah, if you're ever in Las Cruces for whatever reason, it's not a bad place to check out because it's only like 45 minutes away from it. But I don't know if I would like come out of my way to come back.
Like, it's a cool national park to say that you've been to the national park. It's not, I don't know. There's like some hikes and stuff you can do here, but you're hiking on the sand dunes. And so in my mind, it's like almost the same as just walking up a sand dune and taking some cool pictures. Making a snow angel / sand angel.
So yeah, White Sands National Park, pretty cool, pretty unique. If you're in the area, definitely check it out. I don't know if I would come back if I was a couple thousand miles away. Thanks for watching. I dare you to taste it. She wipes it off with her finger that's covered in sand.
Tastes like sand.
Is it yummy?
It's not as gross as like other sand.
Does it taste like salt?
No. Now you have to try some. It like doesn't really have a flavor. Like
Tastes
other
like-
sand tastes like dirt. This just tastes like
Rocks.
nothing. So before we left, we decided to come into the visitor center and watch a little video. What were your thoughts, Nick?
It's really cool.
What is something that was in the video that you wish we would have known before we wandered around?
Something that was really cool is, I can't remember what kind of plant it was, but because the dunes move so much, the plants like will grow, and then because they move, it'll grow a super long stem, and sometimes that stem is like 30 feet tall.
And you only see like 10 feet above the dune.
But it goes like all the way down to the bottom of the water. So that was pretty cool. What was something that you learned today during the video?
Something that I really liked in the video was that it talked a lot about how much the dunes moved, because like when you think of sand dunes, like obviously you're like, all right, they probably move a lot, but the ones that are like attached, like that have plants all around it, they only move like a few inches a day / year, versus the ones that like are not attached at all, they move like 13 to 15 feet regularly.
And then the ones on the very edge move like 38 feet a year.
Yeah, so like it's pretty crazy how much they like actually move, which makes sense because like we were out there and it got super windy, so I could see how everything would move a lot, but it was just crazy to be like, oh yeah, so like what we saw today, nobody else will ever see exactly the same thing we did, because the dunes changed so much.
So we've decided to stay in Alamogordo for another night because the winds are insane right now. Anywhere we go, we're planning on going to Carlsbad or El Paso, but the winds are going to be like 70 plus miles an hour.
Yeah, so our ideal scenario was that we were going to basically just spend the next few days exploring the national parks in New Mexico. We obviously did White Sands, and that was really fun for us. We had a really good time, but the winds have gotten really bad, so even this morning when we woke up, the van was like shaking. So
It's pretty insane.
we figured that we should probably stay in one spot instead of driving a lot.
So we're gonna wait it out today. Just kind of like hang out for a little bit. Maybe we'll check out some stuff. We'll check out some stuff in town, but we're just gonna kind of enjoy the view and
This is where we stayed last night,
just hang out.
golf overs, and we're getting some breakfast here. Okay, so like we said this morning, we decided to stick around town today just because it's been crazy windy. It actually snowed for a little bit. It was only for like 20 minutes, but there was definitely snow flurries. Tonight we ended up deciding to stay at this vineyard. Can't really see a ton, but the mountains are beautiful right now because there's snow on them, but we're happy that we're not in the snow. So yeah, it's a little chilly, a little brisk,
But it's so fun.
so I don't know if you can see over there. You can kind of see the mountains with all the snow on them. We just were talking to one of the ladies that was in the winery, the vineyard, and she was telling us some cool stories about New Mexico. She's from here, and so she was very excited that we were here. She's like, there's so many cool things to do, I promise. It's kind of funny.
So she gave us this cool little book with like all these different things to do in New Mexico. So that's probably what we're gonna check out later tonight.
Good morning from the vineyard. Our window froze on the inside last night. I've never had this happen. Nick says this is normal.
I mean, normal's relative, but it happens in cold places.
Not a fan. That's the world's largest pistachio. Now you can say you've seen it. We made it to Carlsbad Caverns. We weren't planning on actually going into the caverns today because Nick had a meeting at 1:30. Turns out
They canceled.
so we
okay.
decided to come. Typically you need a reservation, so we're hoping that we can get in.
So update.
We got it. So apparently, if they're not sold out for the day, you can still come in and buy it, and it's not a big deal. And so
That's what we
get to
did.
go in. There's 2 ways to do it.
So yeah, there's one that you can just take the elevator down and then you can just kind of walk around the caverns in the bottom, or you can hike down the whole thing and then see the whole thing and then come back up the elevator. We're gonna do the hike down because we've been sitting in the van for 3 hours.
So excited. That's what we're walking into. And then I think it goes way, way further, but.
I'm so excited.
It says it's 75 stories.
We are descending into the cave.
If we talk too loudly, it amplifies it a lot. It's kind of scary.
Look how cool that is.
this is one of our most favorite experiences we've ever done. We are whispering because everything echoes, and there's like nobody else over here, and so we literally just stood and we were like silent, and guess what? We could hear water dripping. Okay, so we came in over here. We've kind of been walking along. This area is known as the Bat's Den, and apparently this is where all the bats like stay most of the time. It's pretty cool. Those kind of look like statues. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Crazy. Wow.
We made it out of the caverns.
That was potentially one of my favorite national parks. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. It's very different.
We tried to take a lot of videos. I don't know how much of it is like usable footage because it's really dark down there. But what I will say is if you decide to come, I highly, highly suggest going the natural way down and then taking the elevator up.
But if you're going to do that, we recommend bringing a backpack with some water and
Maybe
some
some
snacks because it's a bit of a walk.
Which is like totally fine. We just we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to like go in, and so we're both very hungry. But you live and you learn.
But it was way cool. It's one of those places that like it doesn't feel real the whole time you're in there. So I don't even know if the pictures are going to do it justice, but
super cool.
we'll include them anyway.
So this is what we like pulled into, and we were like, wow, that's so beautiful. So curious to see what it's going to be like. And the cavern was just like massive below us. It's so crazy that we walked through it, and it's just like beneath us.